first time was 15 years old. My cousin actually introduced me to it, and I was trying to avoid it, but they actually made me do it. But I really didn't want to do it. I was a good kid. I was just skating and going to school every day. But after that, when I smoked it, I kept doing it. It just kept being addicting. I felt weird without having it. So I just kept on wanting to do it every day, smoke every day, the whole day. If I don't get it, I'm gonna just go crazy. But I don't know why I go crazy, but it's because we're addicted to it. I heard of people dying on heroin, and I know that meth and heroin and stuff like that, in the #1 killings right now. And yeah, it's all bad. Everything's all bad. People that I see every day, and they're on that stuff. They call it go fast out here, so they're always moving fast, and when they have it in their system, they feel something crawling in their skin, and they start picking at it more, and that's why they have all those scabs all over their face and big old scabs. It will kill you slowly, but it doesn't feel like it's killing you, but it's really killing you. Because then once you're gonna do the drugs and you get it in your system, you're gonna want that drug all the time, and then you're not gonna want to do something to be successful in life. You're just gonna be a dummy. That's not right.
I was being told by teachers and parents that they were bad. They would make my brain cells die, cause me to have problems in life, and that I could have health problems. Those were the biggest things that were stressed. I was 13 or 14 years old, and it was alcohol. And I got really drunk, and the next day I woke up really sick. I've done alcohol, marijuana, coke, ecstasy, meth, and PCP. I never would have known how this felt until I went through it. The more people told me to stay away from them, the more I wanted to go and try everything. I feel lost, like I'm trying to climb a ladder that won't end. I was doing things that I didn't want to do at all to get drugs, just because if I had sex with this person, then he would let me stay a little bit longer and we would get high together. People that were supposed to be my friends were stealing from me to support their habits. Whether it was making me angry or whether I was doing it to support my habit, I started stealing from my friends and from my family. I can't look at myself in the mirror the same anymore. My dreams are slowly just dwindling away, and it's sad. It has had damaged me a lot. My mind doesn't work the same anymore.
I knew they were bad, and I knew I probably shouldn't do them. My parents told me how my relatives were on drugs and now they're in jail. I've always felt that I didn't fit in, and I've always wanted to fit in. I felt like I was less than and stupid, and these people were, I thought, my people. They accept me. I'm one of them. I can be a drug addict and I can be like them. And I prided myself on that. Nothing fit me. I could not stop. I couldn't even count. I did it so much, I couldn't even count. I was with these 3 guys who I thought were my friends, you know? I thought, if I used with you, if I bought you drugs, you would like me. We had heroin and we parked. He shot me up with both a mixture of heroin and meth. All I remember is blackness. I remember pitch blackness, nothing. I'm kind of coming to consciousness, and I woke up and my clothes were gone, and I was in pain, and I started vomiting everywhere, and it was scary. The way I felt like I was in hell. I thought they just wanted to be my friend, you know? And they didn't. They didn't want to be my friend, because friends don't do that. Keep your eye open for people who want to flirt with the devil, flirt with danger. Keep an eye for the people who don't care about their life or your life. Keep away from those people, because those people will bring you down.
I've tried alcohol, marijuana, a little bit of coke, some crystal meth, and ecstasy. No one really taught me anything about it. You know, I just walking down the street one day and some guy said, "Hey, you want to hit this?" I said, "Yeah." We were living at this motel, and there was a lot of gangs around. Me and one of my friends, we decided to like be a part of that, and you know, thinking we're all cool, hanging out with gangs and stuff. And so once I got more involved with that, I started smoking weed more, and I actually started taking it to elementary. Actually, using it every day, every day, like just not even thinking how much I'm smoking or snorting or anything like that. I just did it. My feet would swell up. I started having delusional thoughts in my head, you know, thinking people are after me. And when I was in jail, I was using some crystal meth, and I seen a lady pass away there because she was on heroin and alcohol, and it stopped her heart. I've stole from my mom, you know, I've tried to find her jewelry and, you know, steal her jewelry. And when she would ask me, hey, can you count this money? I would take at least like 20 bucks. Just little things, you know what I mean? Little things. It's only gonna be good for that 1 second. Just for 1 second, I can tell you that from my experience. 1 second, it's gonna be good. But then once you try it more and more, you're not gonna have that same 1 second feeling. I lost everything. I lost my clothes, I've lost my diploma, I've lost my birth certificate, I've lost everything, you know what I mean? Like literally everything. My mom, I lost everything.
Before I went to middle school, all I knew was that drugs were bad. The only drugs I knew of were on television or in movies. No one wants to talk to me or hear my name, and I'm on the brink of death every day. People ask me, why don't you just stop? And the truth is that I don't know. My addiction takes control of me. The hardest part about addiction is I can't explain why I'm still drinking and why I'm still using. But I am, and I can't do anything about it. Someone I was friends with ripped someone off. We got stopped and he was beaten to death in front of me. You know, the whole rule of the game is, you know, keep your mouth shut or you're gonna be next. But that's what comes along with drugs. I've had 5 close friends of mine die from overdoses of heroin. It's not anything to joke about, and it's not anything that I'd wish on anyone to ever see or go through. If there's anyone that is ever wondering about it or thinks that, you know, hey, I might try it, it's not worth the gamble. You, your friends, and your family, and anyone you've ever known will be affected if you do. And it's just, it's too sad to take a risk for that, you know?
I am standing in the basement with a kid that has a purple face that I do not believe has a pulse.
And he's unconscious and not breathing.
I don't believe that he is breathing at this point. I am making the assumption that he did heroin last night.
Are his limbs stiff or what?
Yes.
I mean, the first word that comes to my head is hopeless.
Terrifying.
Misery.
Desperation.
It leads you to death.
In elementary school, they would have that Red Ribbon Week. So I heard all of the warnings about drugs, And I always promised myself that I wouldn't do drugs, but then by middle school I was smoking weed. I was smoking weed in about 6th or 7th grade, and then by 8th grade I was doing ecstasy every day. And then by freshman year of high school I was doing Oxycontin, which led to heroin. I smoked it for about 3 months, and then by 15 I was shooting heroin on a daily basis. My best friend died from an overdose. Her drug of choice was speed. So my messed up head felt like I thought it was a way for me to connect with her since she had passed away. I ended up loving it, and it didn't become my drug of choice, but it was always there with me. I would combine the two. Most of the kids that I grew up with that we started using together, they're all dead or in jail, in prison for a long time. I never walked the streets and sold myself, but I mean, I had sex with people that I knew had drugs to get their drugs, so it's pretty much the same thing. Everything that you hear during Red Ribbon Week from teachers and from your parents, it's all true. Drugs just lead you into jail, on the streets, doing stuff you don't want to do, and ultimately it's going to lead to death.
I really didn't know much about drugs in middle school. I knew about weed, that was probably it. I knew that they were bad, and I knew that I didn't want to be around people that were doing that kind of stuff because I knew it only led to other things. My first experience would probably have to be weed and alcohol. I put them both together. Acid, I've done shrooms, I've done weed, I've done spice, I've done heroin. I don't know, I just like to do anything and everything that I could basically put my hands on, just for the high and the effect. Getting kicked out, just going place to place to place. Don't have any good things. I sold all my valuable things. I'm miserable, I'm always sick. I don't have any more money. Just everything. Everything comes to a point where you're just at the bottom and you know that there's no farther down you can go. I always manipulated to get what I wanted. I would steal from stores just so I could go return things and get money for them, just so I'd be cool for the morning, you know, not even thinking about what I'm doing. I actually had a lot of good friends die from overdoses. I always hung around bad people that were either in gangs or, you know, just stealing or just, you know, trap houses kind of thing, you know. I just was never around good people that were doing the right thing with their life. It's nothing to look forward to. It's nothing that ever gets better. It's just something that will always just keep bringing you down, down, down until you're just like, you're done, you know? You feel low.
I was 12. My uncle, he offered me to smoke, and I thought it was a cigarette the whole time, but it was a joint. And then after that, I was like, oh. My friends, they did Xanax and pills or whatever, and then I just started doing pills, and I started smoking heroin for 2.5 years, and then after that I was just into psychedelics a lot, like acid and mescaline and peyote and mushrooms, and just kept smoking weed, drinking, and then I got into a very depressive state of just drinking all the time. And I skate all the time, so I just I can't live like this. And just seeing the people that cared about me, they stopped caring about me because I was into drugs, and I didn't really care. I'd steal from them and say I didn't. And it's just you need it. It's not like you need food, you need water, you need drugs. You need drugs. And then all that food, the water, that shit doesn't matter anymore. Yeah, it's cool in your little group, but in reality, that's not good. Your body will be destroyed. Your liver, your lungs, your throat, your skin, your face, your smile will be destroyed, you know? You'll die, you won't live.
My first time, I was 8 years old. I smoked pot, and I got introduced to it by wrong people. I was hanging out with the wrong people. I mean, a real friend is not gonna lead you on to using drugs, seeing you put your life to waste. So next was cocaine. I was taking more than I should have. I almost OD'd on it. I didn't care what people told me. I would steal money from my mom, and she would ask me about it, and I would deny. It took away my trust with my family. It took away my schooling. It took away jobs that I could have had, and it took away, most of all, it took away having confidence in myself and in my body. I've seen people die. I've seen people get shot. I would always end up incarcerated. I'm surprised I'm not dead yet.
My father he touched on drugs a lot, told me that they were bad. I could become addicted to them. I don't really think I took his warning on that. I almost died. I was in Ocean City, Maryland with my friends. There was some dude on the boardwalk like, hey, do you guys know anyone that needs some heroin? I'll take some. I'm just doing the bag after bag after bag, and I wound up falling out. I almost died off of it myself. I consider myself lucky. It could be the first time you do it. It could be the last time.
I grew up with a dad that was a dealer. I knew that other people were doing it and I was attracted to it. I think it was like 12, 13, I started smoking meth. And I mean, I fell in love with meth and that's what I stuck to. You just don't care when you're on meth. When you're an addict, that's all you care about, is getting high, feeling better, not feeling anything. And I found a lot of that. Not caring, fighting, stealing, cheating, seeing people die, leaving them there. You walk away and you still go get high, knowing that that body you left there died for the same thing you're doing now. Drugs have put me in a dark, dark, dark place. Anything else but drugs would be a better choice. We all have dreams as kids, and I've never heard a kid say, I want to be a drug addict when I grow up.
My dad was very vague. He told me that he used to do drugs and gave me a really bleak warning, just, don't do it, it'll ruin your life, and that was the extent of it. I was really terrified of being left behind. I wanted to go where everyone else was going, and I didn't want to be one of the people that said no, I didn't want to get drunk. It was a really social thing. And I'd drink what people had, and I'd smoke what they had, and I took what they had because I wanted to be like them. And I was terrified of being alone, but I ended up isolating myself even more. People would be handing me pills and I would take those, and graduated anywhere from getting drunk to smoking heroin in the back of someone's car that I didn't know. It got out of hand really quickly. I've seen a dead 3-month-old baby turning blue in a hospital bed because the dad was so loaded on drugs that they shook the baby until it was brain dead. Like, you lose all of your willpower. It's not yours anymore. You're living for something that you absolutely hate. Even though I hated it, I kept going back to it because it's just, I thought it made me feel better and I didn't see that it was making my life worse.
My whole life has been one utter compilation of terror from drug use. Spice, shot up meth, heroin, 2CE, ecstasy, acid, everything you could think of down the board. There's nothing you can do. It's like when you're hungry and you want to eat, and there's no other option. You've got to eat. Addiction has taken away my best friends. When I was 15, best friend of mine was high on LSD. He jumped off a building and killed himself. Another friend of mine, it was a couple months later, was on acid, and he jumped into Rancho Santa Margarita Lake and snapped his neck and drowned in the lake. My best friend and he's been my roommate, overdosed, and he passed away on heroin. I mean, besides wrecking every relationship I've ever been in, wrecking my relationship with my family, it didn't matter. Like, there's some points where it felt like I was almost willing to throw all that away just to shove a needle in my arm, and it sucks. It's really hard. I've gone to jail, gone to prison, been stabbed people. I mean, the whole list goes on. I saw 2 people that were violently stabbed inside prison over drug debts because they wanted to get high so bad, but they had no money to pay it, but said they did. I saw a lot of bad things while I was in there. The pain and suffering is real. You will lose a lot of years in your life that you can't get back. You will make a lot of mistakes that you can't unwind. And it's tragic.
My parents didn't really tell me much about drugs when I was young. And the first time I've ever smoked, I smoked marijuana. And then I started freaking out. I couldn't breathe. I couldn't talk. I started crying. I started gasping for air. My brother came home and he's like, "What the hell is wrong with you? Why are you getting high and this and that?" So I don't know. I just wanted to try it. And I put myself in that situation. That was the lowest, dumbest thing I could do. I've done marijuana, alcohol, tobacco, crystal meth. I thought that was my friend. But I thought I was untouchable. I was Superwoman. I was Wonder Woman. Addiction, it's a nasty feeling. You just have these urge, like you just want to go. You just want to get high. You need to get high. Stole anything and everything. Why? Because I felt like I was untouchable. I was too quick. I lied, like, no, I wasn't getting high. I hurt my family. My family got hurt the most. I started liking pills like Oxycontin, Percocets. I thought maybe it'll help me cure my pain, the pain that I hold in my heart. If you're hurt and you're down, do not ever turn to drugs. It's the lowest thing to do, because now I'm sitting here in so much pain, wishing I never had done that.
Hopeless.
Terrifying.
Misery.
Desperation.
Death.
Disgusting.
Death, in a way.
Slave.
Hell.
Lethal.
Horrible. A living hell.